Hey, Nathan speaking. You're watching the NH Fitness Lifestyle channel, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for all my content using the subscribe button below. My channel is all about helping you achieve a fitter, healthier lifestyle in both body and in mind. I'll be offering advice on how to improve your diet, training and exercise, as well as tips on realising your future goals and how to enhance your potential. So the good news is I'm pretty excited about it. It's actually my book announcement. So exciting news. The important thing is I'm going to announce when it's actually being published. Of course, you might watch this video later and it might already be published, it might already be out there. But for now it's absolutely live. So I'm going to give you some information which might inspire you in some sort of way anyway on this particular video. But hopefully it gives you a little bit of a nudge to want to purchase the book. That'd be fantastic. Or, of course, stay tuned to the end of the video because there's a special announcement which might give you an opportunity to get the book absolutely free. So be sure to listen to this live video all the way to the end. And, of course, so let's start from the top, of course. So I'm going to start with why did I actually write the book in the first place? So let's start with that one. So for me, I've been in the industry of fitness for around about 15 years, and in that time I've gained a lot of knowledge, I've trained a lot of people, and for me obviously I have my own journey which I'm going to share with you briefly in this particular video. So that really inspired me to want to write the book, to really get it out there and inspire others, and obviously try to reach out to more people to obviously get the knowledge to create a healthier lifestyle, which is what my channel is all about. And also that's what I'm about in general when I help people on a day-to-day basis. So that's the first thing. And if you have been following me for a bit, you'll realise I've actually listened to a lot of books. And most people may read a book, but I personally like listening because I can kind of do that when I'm out and about in the car. I can do it when I do my cardio. And in the book I do specify some of the mindset stuff I've actually learned from the likes of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I've learnt from Anthony Robbins, which is a big motivation speaker in America, and the likes of Brian Tracy, Bob Proctor, and also I've had a mentor of Andy Harrington and Neil Martin. They've all really helped me out, and many more. So all this knowledge is all into this short book, and let me show you the actual book itself. So this is like the publisher version. As you can see, it's got this grey strip, but it's quite a thin one. I wanted to make a small, quick read, so obviously because it's designed for people who are really busy. There's around about 50 pages in it, so I'm going to share that throughout this actual video. So let me briefly go into my journey. So I've actually got a slide here, so I'm going to open that one up. So this is it here. So I'm going to start from the top. So brief about my journey. So for people who don't know me, when I was younger, which is obviously, there's a little story in my book, and there's me when I'm little, by the way, I wasn't very confident. In fact, I had very low confidence. And to be honest with you, the belief system was that I really couldn't achieve anything in life. I thought, I sort of said to myself I was stupid. So my confidence when I was younger, when I say younger, I say before the age of 14, was pretty low. And what was a big inspiration for me was one day I decided just to go for a light jog, because I was inspired by, on the TV there was people doing a marathon, and I thought, you know what, I can do that. And that was a first step for me for realising I could achieve things. And in 2003 I actually achieved the London Marathon. As you can see, there's a picture there with the medal of me running that marathon, and that was in 2003. But from there, the fundamental thing was that I switched my mind from always focusing on problems to focus on the next goal. So that really inspired me when I was younger, and that sort of carried me through all the way to when I was older. And just to share with you, I've done personal training for 15 years, like I was saying at the beginning of this live video. And again, I help lots of people, particularly people who are either in business or they're very busy or they're shift workers. And throughout that also I've done fitness modelling, and I've done that more just to inspire others, but also to prove to myself I could do it. And that was one of my first trophies, which in some ways was a big benchmark for me. And also I've done public speaking, which again, as like I discussed at the beginning of the video, I've gained expertise on speaking, and I went around lots of companies. And also I've run a charity event just last year, and that was for a charity called FACT, and it was a cancer charity. And as you can see, there was lots of people who shared their stories on stage, and there was a really few little varied acts, which is really good, fantastic. And also I become a local radio presenter. So as I said, I'm not sharing the stuff to be boastful, it's just to prove that anyone can do it. And that was the point of this particular book, that I really wanted to inspire others, that if you say don't know where to start with exercise, this is a quick book to get you inspired to start that, and have the body what you're comfortable in, and have the energy you want to have, and be able to have a good lifestyle from that. So this book is designed for someone like you, living a busy lifestyle and lost focus on yourself. So that is specifically what this could be for. So I'm going to go back onto myself now. I'm just going to click back onto my screen. I'm just going to move that. Yeah, so what I've got, I'm actually going to share bits in the book, because obviously what will you gain from actually reading this? So I'm going to go into each of the chapters briefly and share that with you. So I'm going to go through that now. So first off, of course, there's like the introduction about me and my story, which I kind of already shared. But then it goes into chapter 1, which is the goal buster. So that's the first chapter. And really, just to be brief with you, that is all about how to set goals, really briefly. And in some ways, it's getting you to actually implement the future. So you can put that in, because most people will not record things in and they don't really know where they're going. But by recording it in, setting it out, that really gives you a good benchmark. And the next chapter is all about communication, not only with yourself but with others as well. Yeah, so it's about getting friends and family on board with your goal. So an interesting one, what I'd like to use as an example, is a lot of people will have some beliefs in their head about that. They sort of say something like, I think I will give up, I don't think I'll be able to do that. And a really good example is what I like to use is if you type into Google, say, a black hat. If you just put black hat would come up, wouldn't it? But if you put in there, I want a black hat, what would come up on Google? I'm guessing everything about black hats, yeah? But what if you typed into Google, I don't want a black hat? What would come up? That's correct, a black hat. So the point I'm making is, what you got to try to bring yourself away from, it's not about, you got to be specific of what you want to achieve, and try not to put in the title the things which is holding you back, because that's what your mind will focus on. Another example is a bit like when you first buy a car and you see lots of that cars out there, and it's because it's become important of your conscious mind, your unconscious. That car is so important, now it comes to the horizons. But does that mean that car wasn't there before on the roads? No, it's because it's become important. So it's really important. It's discussed a lot of that about communication in your mind and speaking to others as well. And of course, the importance of it when you start a journey, it's making sure you've got the right sort of backing by your friends and family as well, because by sharing what you're doing, you've got them on your side. So that's really important. And then this chapter is about fueling your fitness. Why prepping food and drink will help drive your success. And there's an example there about how I used to go to long conferences and drive down, and how I used to overcome that with, you know, buffet food and things like that. So, and in fact, I've done a call with someone else the other day, and I was talking about in the book about compromise fixes, which, just to explain, a fixer is something that serves you in the moment, is going to fulfill you with your food and drink, and it's going to serve you later on. Because some foods act like a trigger, which is what you don't want. You want foods which is going to fulfill you, and I cover a lot of that about the compromise fixes. And what's important about compromise fixes, for example, say when you go out and have food, like for example, if I go out for an Indian, I would have it with reduced oil, and I wouldn't necessarily have the extra bits like naan bread and poppadoms, and I'd have rice as well. But at one point that was a compromise fixer, but now it's just become second nature. So that's what's wonderful about when you make a change, is potentially it becomes second nature to you. So that's that chapter all about that. And here's the important one. This is about people's story. So it's people who's followed my program of different backgrounds, which has managed to get the results what they wanted. And there's the likes of Stevie, who's a publican. He shares his journey. And there's the likes of Joy, who's in human resources. She shares her journey. And then there's the likes of, happen to be another Stephen, and he shares his, which basically he does pantos all year round, or partly throughout the year, and he also works for airlines. So each one's completely different stories, which is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, it's brilliant. I can see someone just posted saying, your book is a great achievement, well done, thanks for that, really appreciate that. And yeah, there's nice visual pictures, lots of takes from it. And yeah, so hopefully this has inspired you to at least check it out. You can click on the link underneath here. You can pre-order the book, but of course you can also join my mailing list, which you have a chance to get the book completely free, and you have a chance to get a monthly newsletter from myself, and obviously I'll keep you up to date for events. But again, thank you very much for listening, and either if you want any questions, just pop it underneath this video, and I really appreciate you listening to this all the way through. And again, just going back to that mailing list, like I said, it's a free giveaway, like at the beginning of the video what I was describing, that you've got a chance to get the book completely free. All you need to do is click on the link below here, put your name and email in, and there will be a winner, which will be announced next week. Okay, so again, I'm going to leave you there. Even if you come off here and you haven't watched it live, just make sure you subscribe on that mailing list, and if you want to order the book, fantastic. Otherwise, have a fantastic evening and hope to see you soon. Thank you very much.